Yo, soft words and harsh truths. You got issues, I got issues, we all do. So free yourself, a safe space for your concerns. We got things to learn, habits to unlearn. Always deconstructing and reconstructing. Can you see the beauty that's in destruction? If there's an end, the new beginning's coming. Nothing comes easy, does it? You gotta really want it. Soft words and harsh truths. You got issues, I got issues, we all do.
Hello, welcome to Unhinged While Anchored. I am your host, Goddess, and I am here on a very unplanned episode because yesterday I experienced the worst show I've ever done, and I assume full responsibility. Now, I sat with Styles with the Brunch Hour podcast, and I didn't know anything about him. And that really was intentional for me because I didn't want to come in with a bias. I wanted to actually sit and get to know him in that show because when I met him under a cloud of a lot of additional emotion. So I really didn't have any idea who was sitting with me. That's not his fault. That's my fault. So he comes in and we're talking and we talk about Smash. Now, he doesn't know all of my shows start with that general conversation. So we are talking, a lot of the healing out loud of my show is for me. I'm healing out loud, and I do that through conversation. And I was bothered because I inadvertently got included into something. And so I just wanted to finish processing that out. But he didn't know that. So I had an expectation of my show. He had an expectation of my show. And neither one of those expectations met together last night. And that's okay, because it still ended up being an amazing time for me. I got some really great advice. It almost became a mentor session and intentional. A lot of what he told me in that time that I sat with him, I questioned. I was like, I know that I do this. I know that I represent this. I know who I am. I know what my product is. It's me. I'm my product. So why didn't I come with my A game to him? And it's because I had already given all of my energy, all my light to somebody else, and I didn't realize it. I'm still learning me too as I do these shows, as I start to do more and meet more people. I'm realizing more about myself, hence that out loud piece. And I went back and I listened to the interview I did with Amron from Opulence Radio, the one that I did right before I went in with Styles. Everything that was missing in his interview was in hers. And I was like, damn it, what the hell happened? But then I started to really think about it. And I started to think about my day. And so I wrote something last night, and I'm gonna read that to you guys because I'm doing it a disservice with my words right now. Today I did Styles a disservice when he came on my show to sit with me. However, was the visit in vain? I had an impromptu recording happen right before I met with him, in which I was able to truly heal out loud with Amron. It was a really great conversation, which flows exactly within the realm of what I am wanting to do with my show. The organic conversation that leads down the path that resonates with people. Tonight with Amron, she was able to experience me in my entirety, almost up to tears, as I did tear up at one point. It was a truly energetic conversation. Then I was hyped. I was ready to go, put on some Moo music. I was listening to Boy George, Karma Chameleon, right before he came in. So I was lit. I was having fun. And so I put the Moo music on and got ready. I didn't realize how fast this interview was going to go downhill. I had already been Goddess, except I didn't know that yet. Instead of doing a show, I was given a lot of amazing advice. And it was something that I was really needing, something that I actually had been asking for a little while now, because I really am new to this. I don't know what I'm doing, but that's my life. I never know what I'm doing. I jump into the ocean and then I find my way to shore. So right now I'm finding my way to shore. So the elements that were missing in the meeting with him were in the interview I did with Amron. And so after getting this information and these amazing tidbits from Styles, I went to the store and I had another interview I had to do with my brother Eric. And so I come home and I jump on StreamYard with him and we're talking and I'm explaining what happened. And he gave me that true pep talk, you have to stay true to you. And it was, again, something that I really needed. And then during his interview, I said something that made me realize why the interview happened the way it did with Styles. None of us have it together. But it is the process we go through getting there that builds character. The openness to being able to receive constructive criticism and not taking it personal and seeing it as a challenge was something I've never done before. My feelings get hurt so easy. And when somebody tells me, hey, this ain't it, I just want to give up. I will throw in the towel and say, you know what, they're right. This is not for me. And I will just go away because that's what I've always done. Styles was sent to challenge me yesterday. And in that, I was receptive to him. I did something after I met with him. And I actually went back and I listened to the show I did with Amron. When I record, I just put it out because I am my own worst enemy. And if I go in and I start pulling things down, I'm going to get you down to zero. And then what's the point of putting out the show? So I'm listening to this and I'm like, yeah, I am who he was expecting. He just didn't get to see her. And that's okay. I said, give me some time. I'm going to come back. I know who I am. I have to play to the person in the chair. I have always had them play off of me. And then I could come into them because I'm an empath. I cannot pick up energy that you intentionally block. You in a general sense, not anybody specific. So if you come in with an expectation, but you're blocked, I'm going to disappoint you. And that's amazing. Because now I've got a new challenge that I can present to myself. So as I'm reading this and I'm going into these stories, what Styles shared with me last night, it did push me to be a little bit different. Healing Out Loud. I share that title with another podcaster. I'm not going to change the title of my show. I'm just unhinged while anchored. That'll be the focus, but I'm not going to change my title because I am healing out loud. And that is something that everybody can do. And if I were to go to that other podcaster's show, I'm sure our formats are different. There is nobody like me. And I can pivot very easy. But I'm not going to give up my name because my name came to me in a dream and it was intentional. I live by intention, synchronicity, paying attention to the signs, because those are what have led me here. Those are the signs that led me to save my daughter's father's life when I performed CPR on him. Those are the same beliefs and energies that have led me to be the person that recognized that two of the most amazing women in my life needed something to focus on that was not for them. So in came I. And my two Amandas are the most amazing people on this planet, but they will both tell you, I have told them, the only reason I'm doing business with them is because I know that they enjoy that peace for their mental health. So in my quest of helping, I find unique ways to do that. And I'm not going to always have my shit together. I'm not going to always resonate and click with the person sitting in the chair. And I'm not supposed to. And I will go on record and say, Styles, your interview will be the only interview I ever delete. Because I don't believe in that. My interview with Uncle Dolomite, that was not a great interview to begin with. But we warmed up. Because it takes me a minute to get to know the person in the chair. Now, I know what I have to do the next time I sit with Uncle Dolomite. Again, I have full responsibility for who sits in my chair. And I like a challenge. I'm new. That's not an excuse. But I am taking my gifts and trying to magnify those in a way that I've never done before. And after I do a show, after I sit with somebody and we've talked, I have no energy. So I did all that healing with Amron. I didn't reset before I jumped into my show with Styles. So I had nothing to give him. That's my fault. I know now I need to space my interviews. So I take it as a lesson. I don't take it as a hindrance. I don't take it as any kind of thing. Styles was very honest with me. And it was exactly what I needed when I needed it. Having to deal with the impending possible exit of somebody I have known since I was 16. Having to realize that I carry everything in my house and I'm currently unemployed, trying to figure out what the fuck I'm doing. As 3 kids live in my home and I don't have an income, but I have faith. I know that I'm here intentionally. I have to know where my boundaries are. And so yesterday, if you look at everything that happened, I was set up perfectly by the universe to fail with Styles. So he could give me the information that I really needed. You know, the one that I had asked God to send me in my face because I can't take these subtle hints anymore. You are going to get a shit show when you come to my show. Not all the time. There's going to be some hidden jewels in there. But you're going to watch me progress into the amazing that I know I have yet to become. because that's my purpose. I read the book of James and I read it as an autobiography, and this is the first time I'm speaking that out loud. In this kind of forum, I did share that with others. If you haven't read the book of James, he is a giver. Everything he owns, he gives. I read that as an autobiography and I cried. I am here to give. My love is a gift. My light is a gift. Everybody that sits with me is sent to me. Not always good, and not always for me to heal or to start and plant the seed of healing, because healing is an evolutionary process. You don't just wake up and say you're healed. And I like to say would never be healed. I'm healing because I am a process. I am a progression. However, that's doing myself a disservice. And I was shared that, that was shared with me last night. I am healed. I'm just learning. I'm learning to be a better person. I'm learning to not lie. I'm learning to be honest, no matter what it does to your feelings, because nobody has given a shit when it came to mine. People have no problems telling me how I suck. But when I reflect and I empath on them and I bring their reflection up, that's when they have a problem. And I have lived my entire life holding up this mirror, but now I want to share it. And that's what I'm doing. So do I have all the answers? Nope. Is my show in its first season? Absolutely. Can I guarantee that I can go back into every podcaster season and see that they have had a progression? Yep. Can I use an example like Kevin Hart, to where he had a very closed-minded thought that he said over a decade ago come back and bite him and cost him money in the future because people can't let shit go and they don't recognize that life is an evolutionary process? Yep. Hold me accountable if you want. I don't live there anymore. I don't. I have gone through everything. There is nothing that I would go back and change, not even my interview with Styles. Because I believe lessons are provided in those moments where you just want to be swallowed up. 2 hours he sat with me. An hour of that was me talking about somebody else. And that's what I do. Intentionally. Because that's how I get to know the person sitting in the chair. I don't do that off camera anymore. I don't do it off camera because I missed a 30-minute conversation I had with Eric G. That would have been gold. You guys would have seen the true me. And now that I'm speaking on Eric, a lot of you guys, I am reserved. I'm reserved intentionally. I am getting to know the scene. I'm getting to know the players. I'm getting to know everything I need to know, because Eric is introducing me in the full capacity of who I am. We're doing a crossover show. So I do have to be cautious because I don't really want to give a lot of my information away because we've already recorded our first episode. It's going to be, we've got something planned. It's amazing what we've got planned, and you're going to see who I am. You're going to see me heal out loud. You're going to see me help others heal out loud because I have a gift. I'm magic. if you're receptive. If you need to come sit in my chair and you need me to be goddess, fully goddess, that empathetic mother energy, I could do that. I can also be Talitha. I can also be Tish. I can also be Terry. I can also be TT. I can also be Telly. I can be Teddy Bear. I can be Too Tall Terry at the tetherball. I can be BB. I could be whoever you need me to be because I am versatile. I've always been versatile. I am a chameleon. I am who you need me to be because that is who I am. And no matter what reflection you see of me, I am not being disingenuous. This is truly who I am. Because I had to work to get here. I had to go through the mud. I had to go through 9 years of abuse with my ex-husband. I had to go through 4 years of mental suffering with my ex-boyfriend. I had to then go through another 9 years with a supreme narcissist. But he is my biggest testimony because he's recovering. He is a recovering narcissist because my love is magic if you allow it to be. So I will assume full responsibility for what went down last night because I needed it to happen. I called it into existence. And I'm going to prove it. You ready? Funny because I'm here for that. I really want to give people the space to be vulnerable. Now, if they come sit in my seat and they have an experience and they're like, nah, we can't put that out, it's gone. It's not about that for me. It's about the conversation. And I know everybody who is sent to me that's interacted with me is intentional. I never know why. It takes a while to figure out the why. So the interview that I had right before I went into Styles, I said, if somebody sat in my seat and said, nah, I'm not feeling that, get rid of it, I would. Tell me why that happened. In the immediately following interview, I spoke that into existence because I needed to be tested. Am I really willing to be like, nah, that's not it? And I am. But I won't delete it anymore. I live in that kind of thing. I live in you seeing me fail because I have something to work towards. I'm a failure. And that's exciting because I get to work towards something. I don't have to emulate perfection. I don't have to be anything other than me. And that is why everything happened the way it did yesterday. Because I have been in my own motherfucking way. Because I'm afraid of what people are going to think of me and my emotions. Because I can go at 12 o'clock on the dot and be super happy. And at 12 o'clock and 30 seconds, crying. Because I am an emotional being. I am supposed to be emotional. I am a messenger. I am intentional. If you come sit on my show, it's intentional. We don't have to know that intention. We don't. We could both have a horrible time. And I'm still going to put it out. You want to know why? It's not for me. It's not for me. If there's something for me in that, I take it from it. And then I emulate it and I process it and it becomes a piece of my Celtic braid of self. If it's not relevant to me, I'll let it the fuck go. The only show I really hold on to is my first one, because I was me. I introduced who I was. In this interview with Amron, I also said that I am who sits in front of me. I am a chameleon. My relationships failed because I started to project back what they were giving me, because I am a chameleon and I become my surroundings. If you're blocked, I'm going to be blocked. If you're open to my magic, we're going to have an amazing time. And it's not going to be a healing session because, again, I'm not a therapist. I said it's not a healing session, but it can be. I'm not a therapist. I am somebody who thinks outside of the box. I am somebody who realized that I am into Dr. Demento and them coming to take me away. I like that kind of thing. I am a nerd, not a blurred. I'm a nerd. I'm a nerd. I'm a nerd in love, and I'm intentional. Red Sovine, Creedence Clearwater Revival. I come from a different background. I come from a family who are roughnecks. And so when I said that word last night, I said it in a loving way. But because I knew how I meant it, I saw Amron's face and I recognized that not everybody's going to see and hear me the same way. And so I pay attention and then I'll self-correct. And then I was like, oh shit, I need to take that out because I don't want to offend anybody. But then I was like, no, fuck that. Speak your truth. That's what Ra tells me all the time. Speak your truth. Savagely tells me, speak your truth. The truth is, I'm going to fuck up. I'm going to say the wrong words. I'm going to say them in the wrong order. And if I say something offensive, talk to me. Come to me. Don't sneak diss me on any other post. Don't jump in my DMs talking about how this, that, or the other. I am only responsible for self. And I know I get it wrong. I will not be held responsible for anybody else's feelings. Again, another situation that happened this week. But I don't hold grudges either. If I'm mad, I'm mad. It serves its time and it's back to business as usual. Unless you do something really, really bad, I could still fuck with you. So the point of this pod with my snoring dog in the back, I'm not editing out shit, because my podcast will always be real. I am not trying to be that creator that's going to give you that amazing edited content. We all have space. There's room for those who are very edited. And I love those shows. I need to bring a little bit more structure to my show. And that's what I learned yesterday. But I will never have a fully structured show because my life is not structured at all. So I can't present as structured to you because I'm a hot fucking mess. So you gonna get me the way that I am, as that hot fucking mess. Whether I'm unhinged, whether I'm anchored, whether I'm drunk, high, indifferent, it doesn't matter. I am Talitha. I am Talitha, who is goddess. I am a whole bunch of things, and you will see I will like grape jelly today, and then tomorrow I'm all about strawberry jelly. Am I a liar? No. I just changed. I'm allowed to. I don't have to stick to any belief I have today because that's what makes it great. I could change my mind and then I could change it back. And then I can go back and change it again because I'm a motherfucking human. There is no rhyme or reason to me. And I needed somebody to come in and shake me so I could get there. I'm a fucking amazing person. And if you get to know me, you will see that too. I will see things in you that you don't want me to see. If you're open to it. I eventually get there. Sometimes it's slow. So if you come sit in my chair and it feels like it's, oh my God, this is dragging. This girl doesn't know what the fuck she's doing. Really? You think so? Okay. And this is not about styles. Let me make sure. Because the way these streets run, people misconstrue words all the time. And then they run back and repeat it. It's the worst game of telephone. But I needed Styles to break me last night. He didn't break me. I needed his honesty. I needed it because I can be better. I needed it because I needed to prove that I could take somebody's constructive criticism and not break down. I needed to prove that I could take those words, immediately flip them into a shield, come back, prove him wrong, and realize that I am exactly who he was expecting. It just wasn't my time for him to see it. He agreed to sit with me again. I have a better understanding of who he is now. Still can't do a lot of research because, the YouTube is kind of dry there, my guy. And anything you put on Instagram is not really going to give me a true indication of who you are. Instagram is reels, and I need to see you. So, to be fair, Styles, my friend, you also did me a disservice. You don't have anything out for me to be able to review. When I sat with everybody else, I actually had major introductions with them. I had the opportunity to research them, get to know them. So when they sat with me, even though the beginning of the conversation might have been awkward, I always find my way in. I couldn't with you. That was my second time meeting you. And I say that, but then you see my interview with Amron, and that was my first time meeting her. The difference. I've seen Amron on other interviews. Styles, I have not had that opportunity to yet because he's working on putting his stuff together the right way. And so I haven't seen it. That's on me. That's on me. I only wanted to meet him, though, because of the way he expressed his love. I should have talked about that, but it wasn't time. Anyways, I've gotten to the point where I ramble. This is why I do my show unhinged while anchored. The person in my seat is my anchor. And if the stories lead to my personal stories, yay, because that's what I'm supposed to do. If the stories are only business, cool. That's where the conversation was supposed to go. If the conversation leads to that other person sharing something they had not intended to share, that's how it's supposed to go. I can't say I stepped out on faith and then put expectations in place. Come join me as I progress into what I think and know myself to be as amazing as I can be. I am going to give you every side of me, my anger, my irrationality, my love, my whoosh. The door has been opened. So there'll be a whole smorgasbord of different shows that I put out, different interviews, different formats, different everything as I work towards what I see for my show. I want a pod show, and it's not a podcast. And there is a difference. A pod show for me is a little bit more encompassing. So stay tuned to see more of that. I don't have to make sense to you. We're not sleeping together. It will eventually become known. It will eventually be seen. Everything's happening faster than it was supposed to. I was not supposed to launch my first episode until June 13th. June 13th. That was my original launch. Today is May 10th. I'm ahead of schedule, everybody. I'm ahead of schedule. And whose fault is that? God's. If everybody wants to be within the realm of whatever, the unknown, spirit, God, however you resonate with the possibility of the unexplained. I appreciate you for watching this. I know many made it through. Maybe you made it a little bit longer into this one because I'm not crying and I actually am trying to see something of sustenance, but ultimately, it doesn't matter. I needed to release. My feelings were hurt last night, and I am the person who welcomed it. I asked for my feelings to be hurt. I spoke into existence the deleting of the show. If you watch my show with Amron, which will air this Saturday, everything that went wrong yesterday with Styles, I spoke it into existence. That was on me, my guy. I'm sorry. Okay, I'm serious. I'm sorry. I will ramble, but I just want to end this to my friend Amanda, who is going through the most difficult thing that she's gone through. Amanda, I love you. Our friendship started completely organically as well. We worked together. We were on the same team. I've spent the night in your home. I love you, and I want you to know how much I love you. And if I could fly to be with you, just to hold you, I would. But you know how powerful my hugs are. You've been it. And I'm sending you one right now. I love you. And we are strong. And I don't know why I'm crying, because we are not doing that. We got good news. We see progression. We are going to get there. And I want everybody just to send positive thoughts to my bestest, because she needs it right now. Thank you so much for waking up today I apologize. I love my friends. Okay, let me start again. Sorry. Thank you so much for waking up today. I love you. And be nice. It's easy.
Yeah, yo. Soft words and harsh truths. You got issues, I got issues. We all